Why, hello everybody. So today we're going to learn about Ego or Go. Um, Basically one of the best games in the world. And today my goal is basically not to teach you the game. There are a lot of great tutorials out there. If I had to suggest one though, I would actually suggest those from the at the end of the anime of Hikaru no Go, where they literally take you very short clips and very slowly into the game. Now there are I'll try to find a compilation of everything on YouTube and put it in the links below. If not, I'll find a good tutorial to teach you the game. But the reason why I'm doing this video is actually because what I found is that there are a lot of for any kind of board games, even a lot of videos on teaching you the game, but none on basic strategy. And that's usually my thing. I usually know how to play a game, but I don't want to get slaughtered. So today's strategy is about Go and the basic of basic strategies for Go. Let's say you just learn the game, but you're playing a game with someone who's experienced, but you don't want to get slaughtered. All right. So that's the goal of today's little video. So first thing, all right, just to put a disclaimer, I'm no pro. The highest I got was 8th Q on the amateurs level. I mean, when I say amateur, it's like really of amateur level. It's like on Panda Tetsuki, which is an online on right now on iPhone 2 and Android. All right, and I got to 8th Q. All right, and I used to buy the books and this board came from, I think, London or Switzerland. I can't remember. And basically I shipped all these to Singapore, and literally the shipping usually costs more than the thing itself, and especially the books. So I like the game a lot, but to be honest, it's always such a mixed bag, because either in Australia it was always easier games, but when I came back to Singapore, it's either you find easy games, which when I say easy games, that means the people just don't want to learn the strategy, so it's always a walkover. Or in Singapore, like one time one guy invited me to play against a 6-year-old pro. So it's just basically hard to find good competition that on a level you can get better effectively. So I kind of fell off the game. So if I make mistakes, and I do apologize, but basically I hope that through these basic strategies, if you want to start up Go, that these will help you. So let us begin. So first common mistake among the beginners is usually they start off with this move. If you play Go, you know that's one of the worst moves you can make. Why? Go is an aerial control game. Alright? And what happens when you put it right in the middle, like with unlike other board games, alright? It gives you a lot of options, I agree. You can expand anywhere, you control the middle, but it's just ineffective. Why is it ineffective? Well, I'll give you an example. Let's say I put my piece here. Now this is also not very effective, but it gives you the basics of the game. If I was to put this here, there is no way white can gain this point, because if he puts it here, alright, what I do is I just lock up. I basically always have that point. And if he puts it here, I put it here, basically, as you can see, it definitely locks up 1 point. And all you need to spend is basically 1, 2, 3. 3 points. So basically you're spending 3 stones to gain 1. I mean, in this one small area. Whereas if you start off here, alright, to gain this 1 point, alright, you need 1, 2, 3, 4. You need 4. So basically you're wasting 1 move. Alright? So unlike other games, Ego is more of a area control game that focuses on the corners, because you have to defend less. Alright? So remember that. And these points here are your friends. Alright? And the most important starting ones are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you might ask, like, you just said that, to go to the bottom you have only 3, so why is it that's a bad move too? Well, because you have to think long term. And that's the fantastic thing about Ego, is a game of so many mixed bags. Alright? You want to defend, but yet you want to attack. and through centuries of development and all of that. I won't go into why, because you can write basically a thesis on it. All right, they've better people than me have figured out that these are optimal points. Why? Because it locks up points, at the same time it gives you a very clear expansionist route. So these points are always your friend, these 4 corner points. Usually a normal game would go towards that and that, and then for me, I would usually just play. My starting is always basics. Usually I would just spread out here. Your enemy would probably spread out here. Alright, and this is where the second common beginner mistake comes. They expand to here. Alright, now why is there a mistake? Well, because one, in fact, you see you're nothing here. Alright, now this looks like a very solid foundation, but it's not, because you remember there's nothing in the bottom. Alright, and if this happened to me and I saw a person do this, which is a beginner mistake, alright, I'll probably place it like here. I wouldn't even try to defend. I would just put it there to attack, because now he has to scramble. He has basically lost this entire section, and now his 2 points here are totally divided. Let's say he puts it here. I put it here. As you can see, I can easily link my way up, but he now has to defend this entire point, and so now he's spending all these points just to maintain a small area. Alright, but whereas, again, like I said, these are good foundation points, but you need to solidify them yourself. Whereas, let's say in an expansionist fashion, you want to defend at the same time, right? That's ego. That's always ego. You want to expand, yet you want to defend. And that optimal move is usually here. Why? Now let's say I want to cut you off. Alright, look at that. Again, this is from centuries of development. I read the books on it. It's just more optimal in most plays among the pros, right? At the same time, it defends and attacks, because now he has to fight. Yes, you lost points at the bottom, but he's probably gonna get stuck spending a lot of points just to gain 3 or 4 points, or 4 or 5 points in this whole area here. You can easily defend it, and then after that, now he left himself open. You can cut in. Alright, so as you can see, once you put your foundation, which is laying these 2 points, you want to lay there. Alright, now you can be a bit more risky and go further. Alright, but like I said, now you have to risk. If you, again, it's dependent on the skill of your opponent. If he comes down here, do you know where to defend? How many points are you willing to give up? Alright, bit more dangerous. Here, I've done this before, but it was basically against a total beginner, and that's because I knew that he was probably gonna turtle up in his side. In fact, the whole game he was turtling one corner. So that depends on your opponent, and again, but maybe pros do this, but I would never suggest putting it right there, because you leave no foundation. Alright, so remember, the corners are your friends. Expand and then build the foundation. That's step number 2. Now the third tip I'm going to give you is a bit weird, because it's like poker. Alright, it's so dependent on your opponent, because if, let's say you put here, alright, put it here, put it here, put it here. Alright, usually in this case, if you're playing a beginner, alright, what's going to happen always is you put it here, put it here. Alright, let's put it here. So here. Alright, as you can see, this is the normal Atari situation that they would teach you about. Alright, it will basically angle all the way down. Now you might say, why didn't I put it one more, the third white piece here? and all that. But again, this is a basic example of the Atari thing, which they always explain that basically trying to protect the white pieces on the board now is a lost cause. All right, especially if this happens. All right, now playing against a total beginner, I would just give up this. I would give up those points. I won't even try, because beginners, and no fault of their own, is actually quite. I think it's good for them that they just lock up the points. They're gonna lock up the points even if they can do something else. Whereas if you play someone who actually played a few games, it's very weird. This happened to me twice, and you have to judge the person you're playing with. They know that they locked up the points, so they're not gonna finish it because it's a wasted move. All right, but if you start distracting them, and this happened like say twice, I distracted them here and here. I don't distract them here. All right. If you know the game enough, you know that it goes in this fashion. All right, it goes in this sideway angle, and then you just put it there. And usually they don't even notice. Their only way now is when they see that, they have to lock it up, either by putting it there or there. All right, to get the points. And usually what happens is that they're so concentrated on one area that all you need to do now is extend it, and if you do the math on it, it goes further. You actually gain back all those points. It was a game changer. But the like I said, strange point about this is so dependent on your opponent. He must have played the game several times and know the rules well enough, but at the same time doesn't have that level of strategy where it's the further thinking part, where he can see the threats just from the pieces on the board. So it's a very touch and go thing. I've done this before where the person instantly said, no, and he just locked up with the points and I wasted one move. So again, it's a poker thing, but I just thought I'd throw it in there because it just happened to me twice, and if it's a lost cause, why not give it a ring? Because they literally can turn the tables with how more points you can gain back. Alright, so there you go. Those are the basic strategies of Go I would give. First is always remember the foundation points, and after your foundation points, defend and offense at the same time. Build your foundation, all right, to give yourself a good base to expand from. And the last one is this trick. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but I hope you learned something, and give Go a try. It's a fantastic game. Thank you very much. Until next word.